Hello everyone, I'm Aparna Pathak and welcome to Nyandeep Academy. So today we'll be talking about foundation of anthropology optional. So in previously I have taken 2 more videos about how to choose optional and how anthropology could be a best optional for you to choose. So today we'll talk about the syllabus of anthropology as well as about the course and materials, the study materials. So let's proceed. So about this class, no need of prior preparation for the class. So basically students from any background can learn anthropology. So you don't need to be worried about that you are not familiar with biology or all those terms. I'll be teaching from the scratch, from very basic in a very simple language. So do not need to have a prior preparation for the class. And also it will save time. And if you already start learning and coming from here, so you want to know about the subject more, so that will be maybe that will take longer time for you, as well as that may loosen the interest for you in the subject. So you can come to the class directly without learning anything prior. I'll teach you from the basics. That will save your time and also that will help you in giving 100% concentration. So here I have given an overview of the syllabus. I'll quickly go through it and then one by one I'll explain you in detail about the syllabus. So we are having 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. So as you can see in paper 1 we have human evolution. After that marriage, family, kinship. After that, economic anthropology, political anthropology, religion, anthropological theories, culture and language, research methods, genetics, human growth and development, fertility and demography, and applications of anthropology. So only this much you have to cover in paper 1, which is so familiar to all of us, right? And also this is more of conceptual. So if you learn the classes properly with 100% focus, you can learn the concepts easily. And then paper 2 consists of Indian archaeology, demographic profile of India, and Indian society. There you have caste, varna, ashrams, purusharthas, jajmani system, village studies, all those things. Unit 4 consists of Indian anthropologists, and from unit 6 to 9 we have tribal India. So in tribal India we'll be talking about tribal classification, tribal problems, and then constitutional safeguards, tribal movements, etc. So this was just an overview, and once we proceed further we'll learn about each unit in detail. So without any further delay, let's proceed. So paper 1, we are starting with unit 1, which consists of human evolution. So we all know about evolution means कैसे हम पिछले जो हमारे ancestor थे, ape like animals थे, उनसे कैसे हम आज के मॉडर्न डेज पे इवॉल्व हुए हैं. सो इस बारे में अगर हम देखेंगे कि अर्लियर वी वर having 4-leg walking like animals, and from there slowly we got erect posture. So जब हम 4 पैरों से चलते थे, so all the limbs were occupied with walking. After that जब हम slowly erect posture में आए हैं, so our hands got freed, right? We are only walking through our legs. So here you can see that erect posture. From there we got bipedal locomotion, means the locomotion means the walking depends on only 2 legs. So that is how our hands got free. So जब हमारा हाथ फ्री हो जाता है तो उसका हमें क्या क्या बेनिफिट मिला है वो हम यहाँ पे देखेंगे. When our hands became free, we started eating processed food. That means we started cooking the food. We started having different variety of food. So that will help in digestion of the food. So पहले जब 4 पैर से चलते, now also you can see those animals. जानवरों में क्या रहता है? They eat raw food. They eat whatever they get. So they may feel sick also easily. So in our case, what happened? We got our hands free. That is how we started eating processed food, and that will help in our digestion. Okay. Next one is hands used as weapon. So earlier people used to use, in our ancestors or apes, they used to use their teeth or other organs as weapon. So now we got our hands. We can use our hands as weapon. Okay. So that is how also, if they were using the teeth more, this region was more developed and the snout was protruded outside. So slowly with evolution, we stopped using the teeth as weapon. That is how we got this kind of facial structure where the snout also got reduced and we got now chin. Okay. So the third one is culture also evolved. As we are having hands, we are stitching clothes, so we started clothing. We are cooking, so we started making food, we started eating, like that. Okay, so that is how the culture also evolved slowly. So that is all about human evolution. So in evolution, while we study, we get so many terminologies like Australopithecus, Sivapithecus, Ramapithecus. What is this Pithecus and all those things? And students most of the time find very difficult to remember all those terminologies. I am just trying to explain you that if you logically understand the meaning of those terminologies, you can easily connect with each other and remember. I'll just give you an example. For example, Pithecus. The word Pithecus means ape. Just you have to know this. Pithecus means ape. Anthropo means human. As we know that anthropology, study of human, right? So anthropo means human. Pithecus means ape. Now Austral means south. So you may say that how do we remember these? So these are very basic. Once you start studying, you will definitely, with 1 or 2 revision, you will memorize all these. But now we will go into more complex terminologies. So if we want to say that southern ape, what will you call? Southern ape. Southern means Austral, south means Austral. Ape means Pithecus. So southern ape means Australopithecus. Right. Australopithecus means southern ape. Next one, you can see that ape man. So ape means what? Pithecus means ape. Man means anthropo. So Pithecanthropus. Pithecus and Anthropus together, Pithecanthropus. So that is how, it's just an example I have just picked a few examples for you to understand that if you understand the terminologies, it will be very easy for you to memorize. So even if you don't know, for example, I just randomly someone asked you in the exam to write about Sivapithecus. So definitely you can understand that Sivapithecus means, those Pithecus means ape, those were found in Shivalik hills. So that is how their name is Sivapithecus, right? So that's all about human evolution. So once we study, we will be finding all these things in this unit, okay? So our next unit about marriage, kinship, society, culture. So just overview, I will say that, for example, one couple is there, one man and woman, they get married, that is marriage. After that, they have their baby, their children, they make a family. And then they have some relatives, some close relative, some distant relatives. So that all together they make a kinship group. And then all together different type of groups make a society. They have a common culture. So that is how we'll progress one by one in this unit. So first is marriage. What is marriage? Marriage is a durable relation with fixed mate. Here the term fixed mate is really important because here mate will be fixed for lifelong. Basically in Indian culture we follow this, and there could be different scenarios like divorce and all those things. Those are exception, but marriage is durable relation with fixed mate. So marriage basically divided into 2 types. Here first I would like to say that we will get the term like gamy. Okay, when I'm saying that there are 2 types of marriage, that is monogamy and polygamy. So you may find that what is gamy? So gamy means marriage. So monogamy means single. So when you have single partner, one man, one woman, that is monogamy. Okay. And polygamy means multiple partner. That could be one man with two women. So basically for male, we denote this symbol, triangle, and for female, this one, okay, circle. I hope it's visible to all of you. And this equal line to show, to symbolize marriage. So this is monogamy. This is monogamy. When one man marrying one woman, okay. Next we'll see that polygamy. Polygamy means one man can marry two women. This also could be polygamy. This is polygamy. Or there could be other scenarios also for polygamy. So let's do one thing. I'll just explain you in detail about this. We saw gamy means marriage, right? So I'm using the short form monogamy, where one man marrying one woman. In polygamy, as I told, one man can marry two women. So this is also one type of polygamy. What do we call for this? This is polygyny. Polygyny. Here gyny means woman. We symbolize female as gyny. So there are more than one female, right? So that is why polygyny. This is polygyny. There could be, the scenario could be reversed as well, right? So let's take that one woman marrying two men. So this is called polyandry. So the term gyny symbolize female, the term andry symbolize male. So here more number of males are involved. That is why polyandry. Okay. So there could be one more scenario, that is, let's take one man. He's marrying one woman, and this woman is also marrying another man, and this man also marrying another woman. Okay. So what will we call this one? We'll call this one. See, here we are seeing polyandry. At the same time, we are seeing polygyny. We are seeing both, right? Polyandry and polygyny. So we'll call it as polygynandry और ग्रुप मैरिज. सो ग्रुप मैरिज मीन्स एक ग्रुप में बहुत सारे मेल फीमेल रहेंगे 2, 3, 4. सो वो लोग आपस में शादी करते हैं एक दूसरे से. सो here you can see this man married this woman, and this woman married another man. Again this man married another woman. So this is polygynandry. This is also called as group marriage. So the concept of marriage is clear to you, right? This is just an overview. I will just quickly give you a recap that monogamy, gamy means marriage. Monogamy means single partner, polygamy means multiple partner. In case of polygyny, as the gyny terms denote for female, there will be more than one wives. And in case of polyandry, there will be more than one husband. Polygynandry means group marriage. Okay, let's proceed for the next. So we saw the types of marriage. Okay, so let's proceed further. After marriage, as I told that, there starts family. So what is family? So family means husband, wife along with children, and they will proceed further, more generations and all. That is how family concept came. So there are different types. Okay. So first one is nuclear family. We are familiar with this concept. So nuclear family is this is consist of two generation basically. So mother, father, that means husband, wife along with their child or children, that is nuclear family. So in case of nuclear family, there could be one child or multiple children, even though family size is bigger. Just for example, there are mother, father and 10 children. So can we call it as nuclear family? Yes, of course. If the children are unmarried, so mother, father with unmarried children, they form nuclear family. Okay, this is clear. So here some doubts may arise in you. If the father has passed away और फादर की डेथ हो चुकी है, तो हम उस फैमिली को क्या बोलेंगे? जहां पे एक मदर है और उनके चिल्ड्रन है और चाइल्ड है जो कि अनमैरिड, आई एम रिपीटिंग दिस अगेन, अनमैरिड चिल्ड्रन. ओके, सो उसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? दैट डजंट फिट इनटू द आइडियल न्यूक्लियर फैमिली कॉन्सेप्ट, सो दैट इज सब न्यूक्लियर फैमिली. सब न्यूक्लियर फैमिली वैसे भी हो सकते हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल सिंगल पेरेंट्स जो रहते हैं, मॉम एंड देयर चिल्ड्रन, डैड और देयर चिल्ड्रन, they also will come under this subnuclear family category. Okay, next is joint family. So कैसे होगा? We are starting family, mother plus father plus unmarried children, child or children, whatever. This is nuclear family. अभी अगर ये unmarried children और unmarried child, when they get married, मतलब दो जनरेशन तो है. एक जनरेशन में फादर है, मदर है और उनके एक बेटा है. ओके, बेटी है. ओके, लेट्स से, and then she gets married, but her husband stays with her in the same family. So in this family all together two generations are staying, but they are having their partners, they are married now, so these two generation is joint family. Okay, they can have their kids also. Okay, they also comes under that joint family. So from nuclear family we got joint family. So joint family could be of 2 generation, 3 generation, there could be for 4 generation also. Okay, so basically 2 to 3 generations are joint family. So after joint family you will have your nuclear family to joint family. From there will come extended family. Extended family. So what is extended family? मतलब आपके साथ, आपके माता पिता के साथ आपके ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स भी रहते हैं, योर ग्रैंडफादर, ग्रैंडमदर. सो हाउ मेनी जनरेशंस आर इन्वॉल्व्ड? देयर आर 3 जनरेशंस. सो दैट इज एक्सटेंडेड फैमिली. एंड उसके साथ साथ आपके चाचा चाची और मामा मामी, अगर दे आर ऑल्सो स्टेइंग, अंकल आंट्स ऑल टुगेदर, सो दैट मेक्स अ बिग फैमिली और जॉइंट फैमिली विथ मल्टीपल जनरेशंस. सो यू कैन सी हियर how we have proceed from nuclear family to joint family to extended family. Again slowly जब generations बढ़ते जाते हैं, so हम इसका naming ऐसे करते हैं कि lineage आते हैं, clan आते हैं, गोत्रास आते हैं. Doesn't mean that they all have to stay together at the same place, but their ancestors could be same. So that is how the family concepts proceeds further. There are further more divisions which we will study further in detail in the chapter. Okay, but till now this concept is clear, I think. Nuclear family, joint family, extended family, then clan, gotras, all lineage, clan, gotras, all those slowly comes. Okay. So after family, our next chapter is about kinship. What is kinship? Kinship means relationship and kin group means relation group, that is relatives. So here there are types of kins. Okay, that could be primary kin, secondary kin, tertiary kin. So I'll explain you what is primary kin, secondary, tertiary kin. Primary kins means those who are directly related to you. They are your primary kin. So who are directly related to you? Your mom, your mother, your father, your brother or sister, or your husband, wife. They are directly related to you, so they comes under primary kin category. So here you can see that father, mother, brother, sister, husband, wife, son, daughter, they come under primary kin. So primary kins means they are closely related to you, directly related to you. So what is secondary kin? Secondary kins are primary to those primary kins. So I'll just give you an example which will make it very clear to you. So for example, me and my husband, my husband is my primary kin because he is directly related to me. Now his sister, my husband's sister, she will be secondary kin to me because with me, my husband is having primary relation and my husband is having primary relation with his sister. So his sister will be secondary kin to me. Now, if his sister's mother-in-law, his sister's husband, let's take his sister's husband. So his sister's husband is primary to his sister, right? But his sister was secondary to me. So now her husband will be tertiary kin of mine. So what is tertiary kin? Tertiary kin is primary to the secondary kin. So I'll just repeat the example once again so that will be clear to you. My primary kin is my husband. So that is primary kin. Now my husband's sister, who is primary kin of my husband. So primary is primary. So she is secondary kin of mine. Okay. So now my husband's sister, she is secondary kin of mine, right? Now her husband. So her husband is tertiary kin of mine. So tertiary kin is primary kin of the secondary kin. Okay. This is clear, right? So that is how kin group, kinship, that means relationship, relation groups will define here in this chapter. Next one is culture. So basically we all have heard about culture, but if we ask you to define culture, we may find it difficult because everything is culture, right? So in one word, culture is a complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, your clothing, laws, habits, custom, everything follows by a group of people in the society. So why am I saying in a society, in a group of people? I'm not saying overall entirely because different group of people, different society people will have different cultures. So again I'll say culture is a complex whole which includes knowledge, art, belief, moral, custom, law, habits that is acquired by man as a member of a society. Okay. So culture is having different components, that is overt components and covert components. What is overt, covert? From the name itself we can guess that over or over, which I am saying over, that means which is outside. So those components which can be seen from outside, those are overt culture. Okay, those are component of overt culture. So that is detected by external observer. From outside anyone can see. For example, the attire of Bengali culture, Bengali women draping sari or their saris are different from South Indian Kanchipuram sari. So from outside you can see and denote, okay, their attire is different. They have a different culture. So that is the component of overt culture, overt component. And another one is covert. Covert, from the name itself you can understand cover, which is hidden. That means which cannot be observed from outside. Okay. So those are sentiment, belief, moral, ethics. Those things, those are inside of those human being or those group of people who are following those culture. Okay. It's not like that it can't be observed. It can be observed, but it cannot be observed from outside. You cannot just go and stand like this and can see them and understand what is the belief they're having or what is the knowledge they're having, right? So next is society. Society is the largest group one belongs to. Okay, society is a largest group one belongs to, and that is made up of population, organization, time, place, and interest. So in a society, a particular group of people, they will have same kind of interest, they will consist of a particular number of population, they will have a place also, that also depends on the time, because the society 100 years back or society now, society after 10 years, that may vary, that will be different. So time, place, interest, organization, all having a very important role in society. So these are the characteristic of society. Okay, so these are the components of society. And if you see the characteristic of society, so society includes mutual awareness, interdependence, cooperation, and also it will have differences and likeness or likeliness also, because where there are more number of people, they will have differences, at the same time likeliness also. They will agree in some points and disagree at some point. Okay, they are interdependent with each other, they are having mutual awareness, everyone knows what's going on with others, what is the problem, what is the need. Okay, so that's all overall about society. So with this, we complete Unit 2, which includes marriage, family, kinship, society, culture, all those components. It's very clear, right? So we'll proceed for the Unit 3. Unit 3 is economic anthropology. So here I would like to say one thing, that as like you are studying economy in your GS paper, there basically you are studying about modern days economies. But here in anthropology, we are not talking about modern days economy. We'll be studying how the modern day economy has evolved from the primitive economy. Okay. So just in this flow, you can understand, I'll just say in a very easy language. So earlier economy, what was the earliest economy for human being? Earlier, people used to depend on hunting gathering. They used to hunt animals for their livelihood. They used to gather foods or seeds or fruits, all those things. So hunting gathering. But by running behind those resources, at one point they thought that why to chase behind those resources? Why not to grow them? So that is how they started growing them. So that is how the concept of pastoralism, that means herding, means now they are not chasing behind, they are not hunting behind those animals, they started growing them. They started growing those animals with them. Okay, so that is pastoralism. Along with that, they started growing those fruits, vegetables also. So that is how horticulture also came. Okay, so from there slowly we evolved to our neoclassical economics, modern days economies. Now we have proper agricultural system, and then we have proceed more further. Earlier it used to be like barter system. We used to exchange goods with each other. Earlier it was service based, not monetary based, but slowly humans started profit maximizing and it became monetary based also. So that is how the concept of modern days economy evolved. So if you see the type of economies, there is a very important chapter about this substantivist and formalist. Okay, so these are the two types of economy. So what is substantivist? Substantivist is primitive economy, where people were focusing on earning as per their need, whatever their basic requirement, whatever their need, to fulfill those needs they used to earn. So that is substantivist economy. So there the concept of profit making or maximizing profit or monetary based concept were not there. They used to जितना जरूरत है, जितना कमाने की जरूरत है खाने के लिए, जीने के लिए, बस उतना ही करते थे. That was substantivist. And from there modern days formalist economy came, where the profit maximizing is the main motto. Now we are so competitive, we want to earn more money. Now we are not focusing just कि मुझे मेरे need के लिए just 20,000 rupees चाहिए per month, so I'll just earn 20,000 rupees and I'll just sleep and like that. No, it's not like that. Formalist economy is based on profit maximizing. जितना हो सके उतना कमाना है. Okay, so that's all about economy, economic anthropology. Our next unit is Political anthropology. Here also again I'll say that we are not talking about only modern days economy or what is going on in your current affair, how the different political systems are doing, what BJP doing, Congress doing. Sorry, I'm not taking any intentionally any name of any group, just giving an example to you. So here we are studying that how the political system has evolved, the evolution of political system. So here you can see some names, right? Uncentralized, centralized, decentralized. What are those? Okay, let's just not go for the naming, just you have clear understanding whatever I'm saying. Let's take, there is one tribe and that tribe is having different groups. So one tribe is having, for example, I'm taking a very smaller example. For example, 100 people are there in one tribe and that tribe is divided into 10 groups. Okay, so all the 10 groups are having 10 members and they made one head of those groups. Okay, so in this case all the heads are taking individual decision, they are not answerable or accountable with each other. So one tribe is having different groups with different group heads who are not answerable or accountable with each other. They are taking individual decision for their groups. So that this type of political system, what will we call for this? This is uncentralized, because there is no single center, all are having individual power. Okay, so uncentralized. From there, the concept of centralized political system has come. So how come that concept came? So there could be one scenario like in one tribe itself 10 groups are there, but they have internal conflict. एक गाय या किसी का animal उधर एक group से दूसरे group में चले गए. Now they both groups are having conflict. Who will resolve the problem? So there comes, they felt the need of having a center who will take the decision for all the different groups. That is how they bring the concept of centralization. Okay, so from uncentralized they became centralized. Now जब centralized हो जाता है, एक के हाथ में पूरा power आ जाता है, तब क्या होता है? That person doesn't have the time or understanding to know that each and every individual of that tribes or of that groups, how are they doing, what is their basic needs, what is the area they are lacking. So थोड़ा मोनोटोनस हो जाता है, ठीक है, ऑटोनोमस हो जाता है. तो इसलिए क्या हुआ कि जब सेंट्रलाइज्ड हो गया उसमें भी फॉल्ट आने लगे. सो वहां से हमने क्या किए, डिसेंट्रलाइज्ड कर दिए. व्हाट इज डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन? We all almost know, right? Because our today's system is based on decentralized political system, which is followed by democracy. So हमारे system में अभी क्या है? We have a central head who is prime minister, and under them and there are different states. All the states are having state head who is chief minister. So chief minister is taking individual decision for their state, for their welfare of the state, or for everything. Chief minister is taking decision, but there is a central head who is prime minister. These chief ministers are answerable to him, are accountable to him. If there is a conflict arise which involves multiple states or something, that central power can intervene. So that is how the concept of decentralization came. So uncentralized to centralized to decentralized. This is the path of evolution of political system. So in detail, you can learn more. So till now what and all we covered? We covered evolution, we covered marriage, family, kinship, society, culture, we covered economic system, now we covered political system, now we are having religion, which is unit 5. So you can easily see that we completed almost 4 units are already completed. Now we reach unit 5. So unit 5 is about religion. So what is religion? Religion is belief in supernatural being. Why am I saying supernatural being? I'm not denoting any god particularly, because the different religious people have faith in different gods, different supernatural powers. Some believe in magic, black magic, all those things. So we can say in a single line that religion is belief in supernatural being. Okay, so origin of religion is, that is, at what stage we started believing in supernatural powers. Okay, so here we will be studying that how, at what stage we started believing in those supernatural powers. So Here I have given a flow chart, simple, in one line I will explain you. First it was like soul worship, after that animal worship, after that nature worship. Animal worship, nature worship goes hands on hand. So after that polytheism, monotheism. So all those terminologies you may find very new. And what is this theism? Don't worry, I'll just explain all those to you in the next slide. Okay. So here I have mentioned few terminologies which you will get in this religion chapter. So let's go through it. First one is animism. So we may feel that animal मतलब तो जानवर है, तो हम जानवरों का पूजा करते हैं, तो उसको हम एनिमिज्म बोल सकते हैं? No, animism means soul worship. तो एनिमल मतलब जानवर नहीं होता है. अगर ऐसा होता तो स्टडी ऑफ एनिमल्स हम एनिमोलॉजी बोल सकते थे, बट स्टडी ऑफ एनिमल्स और स्टडी ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म दैट कम्स अंडर zoology. So animal means zoo, that comes under animal and not anima. So what is anima? Anima means any moving object, that is anima. You may know that animation. Okay, animation means what? Moving. Any object is moving. Animation, animated. These days, GIF and all those things in WhatsApp and all we use, right? So anima means moving object. So earlier and now also our belief is our soul, which is moving. So soul worship, that concept is animism. Okay, animism is clear, right? So animism, soul worship. Totemism is worship about plants and animals. Then what is monotheism? What is polytheism? Monotheism means single. So believe in single God is monotheism. Some people believe in Lord Vishnu, some believe in Lord Shiva. So people have different preferences. So that is how monotheism. At the same time, polytheism means believe in multiple gods. Okay. Now we have polymorphism. What is morph? Morph means form. So polymorphism means more than one form. So this means what? One God in multiple form. So I'll just give you one example, you will understand. Vishnu avatar. So we have 10 avatar of Lord Vishnu, right? Kurma avatar, in which we worship the tortoise or turtle. And then Matsya avatar is there, where we are worshipping the fish. So those are in the form of animal. Okay, one form. Another form is human avatar, just like human being, they are looking Lord Vishnu. So that is human avatar. So that is how different avatar for the same God. So that is polymorphism, one God in multiple form. Here we are not, see, when Matsya avatar, we are not worshipping that fish. We are frying the fish and eating, but we are worshipping Lord Vishnu in the form of fish. Okay, so in different form, we are worshipping one God. That is polymorphism. Next is zoomorphism. As I already told you, that worshipping God in animal form will come under zoomorphism. Again, not animism. Animism is soul worship. The explanation I have already given. The next is anthropomorphism. Modern day idols which we can see, Lord Shiva, Lord Devi Mata, every idols हम क्या हमारे human avatar में हम पूजा करते हैं, उनको मानते हैं. So that is anthropomorphism. Anthropo is what? Human. Okay, so this is clear, right? So that is how different terminologies having different meaning, but I'll make sure that I'll just making you understand in a very simple language. Okay, let's proceed. So next we have anthropological theories. There are different theories. This will be a little difficult for you, but not so much. Here are different theories. You have to just know. You will understand. They are conceptual at the same time, but they have some drawbacks. Everything. There are only few theories that you have to learn entirely. Okay. So I have taken some example. Evolutionism. So what is the theory evolutionism says? It says the culture of a society originated and evolved in that society itself. So that means एक example लेके बताते हैं. इंडियन कल्चर जो है, इंडियन सोसाइटी है, वो इंडिया में ही इवॉल्व हुआ है. So अभी आप अगर देखो, can we say that this theory is completely correct? Can we say? No, we cannot say this theory is completely correct. अगर हम लॉजिकली सोचे, कैसे? आज के जमाने में इंडिया में हम पिज्जा बर्गर खाते हैं, तो क्या पिज्जा बर्गर का ओरिजिन हमारे इंडिया में ही हुआ है? हम जीन्स पहनते हैं, वेस्टर्न क्लोथ्स पहनते हैं, बट इसका कल्चर हमने वेस्टर्न कल्चर से लिए है, अडॉप्ट किए हैं. बट एवोल्यूशनिज्म थियोरी तो ऐसा नहीं बोल रहे. एवोल्यूशनिज्म थियोरी बोल रहे हैं नो, वॉट एवर कल्चर इज देयर दैट हैज बीन इवॉल्व्ड एंड ओरिजिनेटेड हियर ओनली. So even though this theory is not completely correct, but still the theory is explained the way we will be studying in that way only. हाँ, आंसर में भी आपको वैसा ही लिखना है, but as towards the end, as a criticism, as your own thought, you can write these two lines also if you have some criticism point or if you disagree with that theory, so you can write that as well. Okay, so that is how, this is one theory. We have one more theory. I have just taken example which is contradictory to evolutionism. That is diffusionism. Diffusionism is saying that एक कल्चर से डिफ्यूज्ड होके कल्चर सबको मिला है. सो इजिप्शियन कल्चर विच इज इन अफ्रीका, दैट वाज द प्रिमिटिव कल्चर, एंड इजिप्शियन कल्चर से वो कल्चर डिफ्यूज होके हर एक स्टेट पे गया है, हर एक देश पे गए हैं, और सब वहाँ का ही कल्चर एडॉप्ट किए हैं और फिर धीरे धीरे इवॉल्व हुए हैं. सो कैन वी से दैट इज ऑल्सो कम्प्लीटली करेक्ट? आज हमारे ट्रेडिशन में हमारा ट्रेडिशनल वेयर साड़ी है. सो हैव वी अडॉप्टेड वेयरिंग साड़ी, द कल्चर ऑफ वेयरिंग साड़ी फ्रॉम इजिप्ट, फ्रॉम अफ्रीका? नो, दैट इज आवर ओरिजिनल कॉन्सेप्ट, दैट इज आवर कल्चर. सो this theory is also not completely correct, but at the same time I have mentioned you that we, as this is given in our chapter, we have to study, we have to write, right? But if you have any contradictory point, if you have any conflict, you can write as a note, as your criticism or your thoughts. Okay, so that is about anthropological theories. There are some more theories, but I'll make you understand in a very simple, easy language, and I'll make sure that you learn all of them easily. So next comes culture and language. So in this we have theories explaining origin of language, how language have origin, and then why and how language originated, and then only why you human have language. Do other animals also have language? Can we say that? No, only human are having language, because language is a vehicle of your expression. Other animals can show expression or whatever, or maybe we haven't reached till that level, or maybe research work or study works are going on to learn about their languages also, but our concept is about, our concern is about human language. So in our case, what happens? Language is the medium or vehicle of culture. Why does it say so? Because different culture are having different ideologies, different thoughts, right? But अगर मैं मेरा कल्चर आप तक पहुंचाना चाहती हूँ कि मेरे यहाँ पे हम ऐसे ही पहनते हैं, मेरे यहाँ पे हम ये सब खाते हैं, हमारे यहाँ पे ऐसे ऐसे फंक्शन होता है, हाउ डू आई ट्रांसफर यू दैट कॉन्सेप्ट? थ्रू लैंग्वेज. बिकॉज आई विल एक्सप्लेन देयर आर डिफरेंट फॉर्म्स, बट द व्हीकल इज लैंग्वेज. ओके, सो दैट विल बी यूनिट 7. Then unit 8 talks about research methods. So as I already told that anthropology is the scientific study of humanity. So here we are giving proof for everything, right? So whatever you have studied, you are studying here, the portion of humanity, everything is given the proof. The methods are survey, census, interview, questionnaires, schedules. Regarding survey, census, and those things we already know, right? But here are few terms like questionnaires, schedules. What are those? So let me explain those things. So first of all, interview. We know what is interview. That will be a face-to-face question, orally. That happens orally. Matlab interviewer is asking you question and you're giving the answer. You are giving the answer orally. That is interview. But questionnaire. What is questionnaire? Questionnaire is also similar. There will be a set of questions and you have to answer. But here the answers will be in written form, not orally. So questionnaire is just like interview but in written form. So for example, I'll just give you an example which you all can relate. That your application form for this exam, for UPSC, MPSC, whatever exam. So there will be a set of questions and you have to answer right. So that answer will be in written form. So that is questionnaire. Okay, so we'll just quickly read. Questionnaire is same as interview, but it's written, not oral as interview. I have given the example also. Application forms. Next one is schedule. So what is schedule? Schedule is also in written form, but the researchers fill the form. So the information filled by the researchers, not the informant. मतलब फॉर अगर इसका मैं एक एग्जांपल देके अच्छे से समझाती हूँ. हमारे घर पे सेंसस लेने के लिए घर आते हैं, लेकिन उसमें क्या होता है, कोई भी सर्वे हो कुछ भी हो, उसमें एक जो सर्वे कर रहे हैं जो रिसर्चर है एक रिसर्च पेपर लेके आते हैं, हमसे सवाल जवाब करते हैं, दे आस्क अस क्वेश्चंस एंड दे राइट डाउन द आंसर देमसेल्फ. सो वी आर द इंफॉर्मेंट, वी आर गिविंग द आंसर, बट आवर आंसर इज नॉट बीइंग रिकॉर्डेड एज इट इज, और वी आर नॉट राइटिंग दोज आंसर. द रिसर्चर, द वन हु केम, they themselves are writing. So that is called schedule. Okay, so these are the research method. I hope it's clear. Survey, census, interviews, questionnaires, schedules. So all those also we'll study in this unit. Next we have genetic. So don't get scared by hearing the name of genetics. There are people who doesn't like biology. So even though you haven't studied biology, even in your LKG also you haven't studied biology, don't be worried. I'll just explain in a very simple way. The biology will be very basic. So here it is a simpler version of biotechnology. Here we'll be studying about chromosome, DNA, gene, or chromosomal aberration. Aberration means nothing. There are changes or some malfunctions in the chromosome. Okay, that may lead to several changes. Okay, several problems also, that is, and how to treat them if due to chromosomal aberration some disease or some genetic problem has arrived. How do we solve them? That study is also there. So that includes genetic engineering. There will be genetic diseases. We will start that study about genetic diseases. There are different types of disease. Dengue, malaria, are they genetic? Can we call that dengue because I got the dengue gene from my mother, I got dengue? No, they are not genetic. There will be particular genetic diseases. So few examples like hemophilia, thalassemia, those are genetic diseases. Also we have racism. So different types of race are there: Mongoloid, Caucasoid, okay, Negroid. So different race people, they have different features based on there are different factors, geographical factors, climate factors, or other reasons also. Okay, Mongoloid people, they have different facial features. Negroid people, they have different type of hair. So those comes under race. And also due to this हम नहीं समझते हैं कि अगर उनके फीचर्स है, किसी के नाक ऐसे थोड़ा ऊंचा है, किसी का थोड़ा फ्लैट नोज है, तो हम सोचते हैं इनका कैसा ही छोटे छोटे आंख है, नाक फ्लैट है, तो हम वी क्रिटिसाइज देम. दैट इज हाउ रेसिज्म स्टार्ट्स. दे आर ब्लैक इन कलर, like African people, they are black, they are Negroes, we call like that. So that is how racism starts. But if we study anthropology, if we understand anthropology, we'll know that how environmental factor, how geographical factor plays a great role that helps their survival. That is how their features, their appearance is like that. So we'll try to understand the race, and then that will reduce the racism. That is the value of anthropology as a subject. Okay. Next we have ecological adaptation also. मतलब डिफरेंट रीजन पे, हायर ऑल्टीट्यूड पे, लोअर ऑल्टीट्यूड पे, ह्यूमिड रीजन पे, डिफरेंट प्लेसेस में कैसे हम अडॉप्ट होते हैं, उसका भी बोलते हैं इकोलॉजिकल एडेप्टेशन. दैट इज हाउ आवर बॉडी गेट अडॉप्टेड इन डिफरेंट एनवायरमेंट्स. अदर देन दैट वी हैव epidemiological anthropology, which talks about diseases. As I told you that Ebola, malaria, those are also doesn't come under genetic disease, but they are different kind of disease. Those are epidemiological. They will come under epidemiological anthropologies. Then we will study about these diseases. Okay. So our next unit is human growth and development. So here we are studying from womb to tomb. We can say that womb to tomb. So what is womb? Womb means inside mother's body, and tomb means कब्र, मतलब death. So जन्म से लेके डेथ तक हम देखते हैं ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट में. So इसको अगर हम ब्रॉडली कैटेगराइज करें तो हम ये 3 स्टेजेस में कैटेगराइज कर सकते हैं. एक है प्री नेटल स्टेज, natal stage and postnatal stage. So what is prenatal, what is natal, what is postnatal? So if we see the process of birth until death, we will see these stages. There are gametes, female gamete, male gamete, which is egg and sperm, and they fuse together, they form zygote, and that zygote forms embryo. That embryo, everything happens outside or inside? Those things happen inside the mother body, inside the womb. Okay, so that zygote forms embryo, and then that is forming fetus. What is the difference between embryo and fetus? Till 8th week of development, that is called, the zygote is called as embryo, that transfers to embryo, and embryo till 8th week we call it as embryo, because after 8th week most of the development of organs, हाथ पैर, धीरे धीरे heart, internal organs चालू हो जाता है development. So after 8th week we call it as fetus. So again, gametes, they fused, form zygote. From zygote we got embryo, from embryo we got fetus, and till here it was where inside the mother's body, inside the womb. So that comes under prenatal stage. Okay, so that is prenatal stage. Here we'll study this. After this, the birth process, that comes under natal stage. Natal stage means birth process. कैसे ऑक्सीटोसिन हार्मोन रिलीज होता है, the vaginal area, the birth canal वो डायलेट होते हैं, बेबी बर्न होता है, सिर पहले निकलते हैं, बेसिकली पैर धीरे से निकलते हैं बाद में towards the end. So all those things comes under natal stage, the birth process. Okay, and after the birth, that is postnatal. So postnatal stage, that includes from here. See, we have neonates, that means newborn baby. अभी baby बन गए, baby ready हो गए, baby बाहर आ गए. So that is neonates. Now उसके बाद that baby will be called as child or toddler. Slowly उनका growth होगा. They will be called as adolescents. Then they will hit puberty. They will be having adulthood. After that, slowly, they will reach till senescence, or that is called old age. Senescence is called old age, and slowly they will reach till moksha or death. Okay, so the entire process from womb to tomb will be studied in growth and development. Okay. Next, we have fertility and demography. In demography, we all know what is demography. Demography is about population, sex ratio, and working population. Okay, all those things. In census, we calculate those things. So those comes under demography. Here you will have the conceptual understanding of demography, also the definition. Okay, so we come to the fertility. So before coming to fertility, I would like to explain one more term, which is fecundity. Fecundity. Okay. So before fertility, we'll talk about fecundity. So what is fecundity? Fecundity is biological capacity to give birth to a child. Okay. So fecundity मतलब हम एक वुमेन का, एक औरत का biological capacity child birth के लिए. ठीक है. So since the age after puberty itself, women get mature and they can give birth, but actually the ideal age from 19 to 29, 19 onward till 30, 40, late 30s or 40s also, women can give birth easily, no problem. So at that time, just take an example, एक 19 साल की लड़की, she is having fecundity, but she is not producing, right? So having fecundity and having fertility is different. Fecundity means biological capacity to give birth. एक 19 साल की लड़की, she is having the capacity of giving birth, that is fecundity. So factors are purely biological. Fecundity means the body of the woman is ready to give birth biologically. Her sex hormones are working properly, her body development, her body growth, the womb region, all those growths has happened. So biologically she is fit to be a mother. That is fecundity. Now comes fertility. So when we realize or we are using this fecundity, that is fertility. Okay, so fertility के लिए मतलब if I am capable of giving birth doesn't mean that I am giving birth. There are different factors involving for fertility, right? So there could be factor like economic factor, political factor, social factor, cultural factor. I'll just give you a small example for all those. आज के जमाने में लड़कियां लेट शादी करते हैं, 25, 26 is a normal age. Why? Because they want to be economically independent. So that is an economic factor. That late marriage, because of that, fertility is getting late. Okay. Next factor, in different religion, for example, in Christianity, in some group of Christianity, people still believe that killing any child, even in your womb, that is a sin. So they don't follow this abortion concept. Okay, they think that this is a sin. So that is why their fertility can be more, right? In case of how it is politically involved, how politics can play a role. So our government schemes or government policies, they say that 2-child policy. Even though you have the ability to bear 4 child, biologically you are ready to give birth to 4 kids. But our government is saying that our population is increasing, so we have to reduce the fertility rate. So that is how fertility depends on several factors. Okay. So all those things I have mentioned here. About demography I have already told. So let's jump to the next unit. Next unit is very interesting because it talks about application of anthropology. पढ़ाई तो बहुत कर लिया anthropology, अभी apply कहाँ पे करें? So let's see. Here we have sports anthropology. So based on body type, how one person can choose a perfect sports for him or her. For example, एक बहुत पतला सा दुबला सा इंसान है जिसको wrestling करना है या weight lifting करना है. Will it be suitable for him or her? No. So if someone is lightweight, they can go for running, sprinting. If someone is having a taller height, they can go for high jump. If someone is having a strength, they are a little bit bulky, lesser weight, they can go for wrestling, they can go for weightlifting. So how come the sports can be designed based on the body type? That will be explained here in sports anthropology. It was interesting, right? So next is forensic anthropology. So what is forensic anthropology? Forensic anthropology is solving a criminal case using knowledge about human body. So हमने बहुत सुने हैं DNA टेस्टिंग करते हैं, उसके बाद फिंगरप्रिंटिंग चेक करते हैं, ब्लड ग्रुप सैंपल लेते हैं, क्राइम पेट्रोल्स में बहुत देखे, राइट? तो ये किसके अंडर आता है? दिस कम्स अंडर फोरेंसिक एंथ्रोपोलॉजी. सो अगर एक क्राइम सीन से फिंगरप्रिंट मिल गया और वो किसी के साथ मैच हो गया, डज दैट पर्सन डिनोट्स टू बी दैट क्रिमिनल? नो, वी कैन नॉट से दैट पर्सन इज क्रिमिनल, बट दैट हेल्प्स. अगर 5 लोगों का फिंगरप्रिंट मैच होता है, सो दे कम्स अंडर द सस्पेक्ट कैटेगरी. देन वी विल प्रोसीड फर्दर, द रेस्पेक्टिव डिपार्टमेंट विल टेक फर्दर मोर एक्शन, ओके, एंड दे विल गो फर्दर मोर इन्वेस्टिगेशन. बट this helps in the process. Okay, next is in designing defense and other equipments. So what is, how they define defense equipment? So for example, जो एक फाइटर जेट बना रहे हैं जिसके कॉकपिट का जो हाइट है, जो वहां पे जो फाइटर जेट चलाने वाले हैं, जो पायलट है, उनका हाइट है 6 फीट और कॉकपिट में बैठने का जगह है 5 फीट का. सो कैसे टेढ़ा होके वो चला पाएंगे, ठीक से कर पाएंगे? नो, राइट? सो based on the height, body type, body measurement, how the defense equipment will be designed, that depends on this defensic that in this anthropology chapter, where in defense designing also we are using this anthropology, biometrics we are using, or measurements, anthropometric data we are using. यहाँ पे इसीलिए डिफेंस के जब सिलेक्शन होता है ना, तो उस पे क्राइटेरिया रहता है, हाइट इतना होना चाहिए, बॉडी टाइप ऐसा होना चाहिए. सेम फॉर स्पोर्ट्स ऑल्सो. You have weight category, you have height category, different categories are there. Okay, so those all are interconnected. So you are seeing the connection of anthropology with all aspects, right? And also its application is there. It's not like something you are just studying, so and no use in the society. So next is nutritional anthropology. How religion, culture, economy, everything influences the nutrition. So जैसे economy, अगर आप बहुत those poor population, they are not able to afford good nutritional food, so that could be one of the problem for them. Then for religion, for culture, we Hindu culture, beef consumption is forbidden in Hindu culture. In case of religion, for Muslim, in Islam, they cannot consume alcohol. So that is how these different factors also affects in your nutrition, in the nutritional anthropology. So these all comes under unit 12. So that is all about paper 1. And basically if you see, the paper 1 consists more dynamic portion, so it may take bit more time to complete the paper 1. So अगर मेरा ड्यूरेशन अगर 4-5 महीने का है एंटायर कोर्स का, तो उसमें थोड़ा ज्यादा टाइम पेपर 1 में जा सकता है, क्योंकि ये डिजाइन ही ऐसे हुआ है, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है, और जिसमें जानने का मतलब अगर आपका कॉन्सेप्ट एक बार क्लियर हो जाए, सो यू कैन राइट एनी आंसर. ओके, लेट्स गो फॉर पेपर 2. Paper 2 is about mostly Indian anthropology. Here we'll talk about anthropology from Indian aspect. So first one is archaeology. So this in paper 1 also we had archaeology chapter. So what is archaeology? Archaeology means to study from excavation. एक्सकेवेशन जो खोद के निकालते हैं ना, पिछला जो भी डेटा है, जो भी फॉसिल है, खोद के निकालते हैं, दैट इज एक्सकेवेशन, दैट इज आर्कियोलॉजी. यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो कि एथनो आर्कियोलॉजी. व्हाट इज एथनो? एथनो मीन्स स्टडी ऑफ कल्चर, स्टडी ऑफ लाइफ. सो दैट इज स्टडी ऑफ, बाय एक्सकेवेशन हम लाइफ के बारे में, हम कल्चर के बारे में स्टडी कर रहे हैं, दैट इज एथनो आर्कियोलॉजी. तो इसमें ये दिस इज ऑलमोस्ट सिमिलर टू योर एंशिएंट हिस्ट्री, देयर यू सी पेलियोलिथिक, मेसोलिथिक, नियोलिथिक, चाल्कोलिथिक, ब्रोंज एज, इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन, कैसे एक एक करके डिफरेंट स्टोन एज से मॉडर्न डे सिविलाइजेशन पे इवॉल्व हुआ है. सेम एज योर एंशिएंट हिस्ट्री, हियर ऑल्सो वी विल बी सीइंग दिस. ओके, सो यहाँ पे डिफरेंट टर्मिनोलॉजीज वी विल फाइंड. हमारे आर्कियोलॉजी प्रीवियस जो यूनिट 1 में हमने पढ़े, तो सिमिलर यहाँ पे भी मिलेगा आपको. रामापिथेकस, शिवपिथेकस, नर्मदा मैन. शिवपिथेकस, that means those apes which are, those all are example of giant apes. Okay, so Shivapithecus found in Shivalik hills, sorry. Ramapithecus found in, Ramapithecus also found in Shivalik hills. So now you will say, मैडम आपका ही बात आपको कॉन्ट्रोडिक्ट कर गए, आपने तो बोले शिवालिक हिल्स में मिला तो शिवापिथेकस होगा. सो क्या हुआ, शिवालिक हिल्स में शिवापिथेकस मिल गया, लेकिन एक और एप डिफरेंट टाइप का मिल गया. नाउ व्हाट टू नेम फॉर हिम? तो क्या हुआ, जो माइथोलॉजिकल नेम शिवा के साथ, शिवा को डिनोट करके रखे हैं, थोड़ा सिमिलर करके लॉर्ड रामा को डिनोट करके एक दूसरा नाम रख दिया, क्योंकि हम दोनों का नाम सेम नहीं रख सकते, बट थोड़ा लॉजिक तो यहाँ पे भी काम करता है. ओके, थोड़ा बहुत डिविएशन भी रहेगा. सो शिवपिथेकस, रामापिथेकस, नर्मदा मैन, तो नर्मदा मैन नाम से ही आप बोल सकते हो, नर्मदा रिवर के किनारे पे मिला है, राइट. सो दिस ऑल अबाउट आर्कियोलॉजी. Next you have demographic profile of India. So again, demographic profile of India, we studied about this demographic profile of India in the concepts, whatever you have studied in paper 1, it's already there. So here this paper is completely based on those facts of Indian population. So this will be very easy for you. You are already mugging up, you are already reading lots of facts in your GS paper. So if you get those facts in your head, you can easily write these answers which comes from this chapter, okay, this unit. Next is, so we completed unit 1 archaeology, unit 2 demography. Now we have unit 3 and unit 5. Why am I skipping 4? I'm not skipping 4. 4 will be coming, but as unit 3 and 5 is having overlap or similarity, I'm just explaining all together unit 3 and unit 5. This is about Indian anthropology. So what's there inside? In Indian anthropology, we have village system. In village system, you can see that zamindari, raitwari, mahalwari system. So those zamindars रहते थे और हाँ अपने जमीन को लीज पे दे देते थे कि आप लोग वहाँ से जो भी फसल उगता है आप मुझे वहाँ से इंटरेस्ट दे दो, या तो आउटपुट वहाँ से लेना है. ऐसे जमींदारी सिस्टम जो भी हम हिस्ट्री में भी पढ़े हैं, सिमिलरली यहाँ पे भी है जमींदारी सिस्टम, रैतवारी सिस्टम. मतलब लैंड होल्डिंग्स किसके हाथ पे जाएगा, जमींदार के हाथ पे या टेनेंट्स के हाथ पे, ऐसे ही बेस्ड ऑन दैट दीज डिफरेंट सिस्टम्स आर देयर. We have caste system, different type of caste based of occupation or other reason. So caste like for example, those are making earthen pots, they call as kumbhar. Okay, so like that caste systems are there. There are varna system, that is like brahman, kshatriya, vaishya, sudra. They are four varnas, chaturvarna. Okay, so this comes under varna system. Ashrama, again there are chaturashram, brahmacharya, वानप्रस्थ, ग्राहस्थ, संन्यास. मतलब कैसे आप एक डिफरेंट एज पे डिफरेंट एज ग्रुप को डिफरेंट आश्रम में डिवाइड किए हैं. एट द एज ऑफ स्टडी दैट इज ब्रह्मचार्य. उसके बाद आप नॉर्मल जो लाइफ है, सामाजिक जीवन, दाम्पत्य जीवन है, उसके बाद आप जंगल पे जाते हो, देन वैंडरिंग अराउंड द फॉरेस्ट. ओके, वानप्रस्थ. उसके बाद जो मोक्षा के लिए एकदम लास्ट स्टेज होता है, संन्यास. ओके, so that is ashram. Then you have purushartha. What is purushartha? Purush, here as we know that patriarchal society, so purush means human. Don't take purush means only man. So as you know that patriarchal society, purush means man, man means human. Okay, so here purushartha means artha, means goals. So what is the artha? So that what is the goal of human being? Yeah, you're not saying that man, okay, human, man and woman both. Only the purush, because patriarchal society they named it like that. Okay, so what is the goal of human being? That will come under purushartha. Then what are the goals? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. What is dharma? Dharma is righteousness, artha is wealth, kama means sexual desire, moksha means penance or mukti. So these are the अर्थ of life. हम इंसानों के जीवन का जो बेसिक अर्थ है कि हमें राइटियसनेस में मतलब सही रास्ते पे चल के, बोलते हैं ना, सही रास्ते से चल के सही पैसा लेके आना है घर, और फिर हमारा एक सेक्सुअल नीड रहता है, उसके बाद हमारा जो वेल्थ है वो एक पार्ट है, उसके बाद लास्ट को हम मोक्ष, मतलब हमारा डेथ हो जाता है, हमें मुक्ति चाहिए. सो these are the part of purushartha. Then you have rina. Rin means indebtedness. So you have rina towards your ancestors, towards your guru, towards your parents, towards God, because we have those moral thoughts that we are accountable to them. We have some duties, we are bound to them. So those comes under rina. Then we have karma theories. We all know karma. We also say that karma is a witch, means whatever you do, you get it back. So that is karma theory. And if अगर कुछ होता है जिंदगी में, अच्छा टाइम नहीं चल रहा है, कुछ गलत होता है, तो हम बोलते हैं हमारे कर्म का मतलब फल है. तो that is karma theory. What you do, that is what you get. Okay. Then you have Jajmani system. Jajmani system is similar to barter system. That is not based on money, that is service based or goods based. Okay, so some will be similar to barter system. Some will give you some service, and in return you give them some goods or some grains. Okay, so the one who is making gold, they will give you gold and you give them paddy, or you give them rice. ओके, सो दैट इज हाउ जजमानी सिस्टम. हम सुने होंगे जजमान, यजमान जो पूजा करते हैं, पुरोहित या तो हमारे घर पे आते हैं, हमें अच्छा गुरु की तरह इंफॉर्मेशन देते हैं, सलाह देते हैं, तो हम उनको फिर दान देते हैं, उनको भिक्षा देते हैं या दान देते हैं. सो दैट इज जजमानी सिस्टम. वेरी बेसिक, हम डेली लाइफ पे ये सब चीजें फॉलो करते हैं, ये सब चीजें हम देखते हैं, सुनते हैं, जानते हैं. Then we have Sanskritization. One more is there, that is urbanization. So Sanskritization, urbanization means lower caste people, how they are imitating the upper caste people. I'll just give you an example. Like earlier the concept was like only Brahmins performs the pujas, but nowadays you can see that everybody is worshipping. Maybe they are going to the temple or not, whatever, but they all are worshipping. They are performing pujas and rituals in their respective home. So they are imitating the upper culture. So that is what Sanskritization. Urbanization means accepting the urban culture, their attire, the food habit of Western culture, Westernization, urbanization. So all those also will come under this. Okay. As I told that I didn't skip unit 4. So unit 4 is here. Here we have anthropologists. who are Indian anthropologists. Okay, some thinkers and their contribution, and this unit is more factual. So बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है, कुछ ही thinkers है जिनके थोड़े थोड़े नाम भी लिखे हैं मैंने, आपने सुने होंगे, M.N. श्रीनिवास, S.C. दुबे, D.N. मजुमदार, इनके बुक्स भी आपने पढ़े होंगे. So we will talk about these thinkers, and एकदम बहुत डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन आता है, जस्ट बोलते हैं कि राइट अबाउट द आइडियोलॉजी ऑफ दिस थिंकर, उन्होंने क्या किया है, कहाँ जन्म हुआ है, कौन सा बुक लिखे है, वी हैव टू राइट अबाउट दोज ओनली. सो दिस इज वेरी स्मॉल पोर्शन एंड वेरी स्टैटिक. ओके, सो you don't have to put your head too much to understand what's going on. You just have to read the facts and just write in the examination. Next one, unit 6 to unit 9 I have given in combined, that is tribal India. Very interesting, we will see. Okay, so in this we have, first we'll classify the tribals. So first we have tribal classification. So based on what we classify? Based on geography, based on language they speak, based on the religion they follow, based on their occupation. How? So based on geography, tribal living in different geographical region, northeastern tribe, southern tribe, central Indian tribe, north Indian tribes. So different region के different tribes हैं, तो उनको हम categorize कर दिए. Okay, next is language they speak. So Indo-Aryan, Dravidian, so they are different languages. Based on those language we classified, these are Indo-Aryan tribals, these are Dravidian tribals. Okay, next we have based on the religion they follow. So this is very common, just like Hindu, Muslim, Christianity. So tribal people also follow these kind of religion. Okay, based on the occupation, so still there are tribes who are hunter gatherers, who are still dependent on hunting and gathering. So they are hunter gatherer tribes. Some are pastoralists, some are shift cultivist. So I am not giving you the definition of all the terms again, because I have already told in the economic anthropology what is hunting gathering, pastoralist or shift cultivation. Okay, सो क्लासिफिकेशन हो गया. अभी हमें देखना है कि उनका प्रॉब्लम क्या क्या हो सकता है. सो व्हाट आर द ट्राइबल प्रॉब्लम्स? लैंड एलियनेशन. सो एलियनेशन, एलियन मतलब क्या? आउटसाइडर. सो लैंड एलियनेशन मतलब उनके अपने ही जमीन में उनको आउटसाइडर बना देते हैं. उनके जमीन को हमने कैप्चर कर लिए और उनको वहां से निकाल दिया, तो उनको बना दिया लैंड एलियनेशन. उसके बाद उनका डिस्प्लेसमेंट कर दिया. क्यों डिस्प्लेसमेंट किया? वो ट्राइबल्स जिस फॉरेस्ट में रहते हैं उसको प्रोटेक्टेड फॉरेस्ट डिक्लेयर कर दिया, वहां पे माइनिंग का काम चालू कर दिया, वहां पे डेवलपमेंट चालू कर दिया, वहां पे प्लांटेशन, टी प्लांटेशन, कॉफी प्लांटेशन और कल्टीवेशन कुछ भी चालू कर दिया. हम हमारे प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजेशन के लिए हम उनके जगह पे इंटरवेन करके उनको वहां से निकाल देते हैं. सो दोज आर द प्रॉब्लम्स दे फेस. लैक ऑफ रिहैबिलिटेशन. सो उनको वहां से निकाल तो दिए, लेकिन उनको रिहैबिलिटेशन कौन देंगे? उनको वहां पे वापस से उनको किसी और जगह पे, दूसरे जगह पे रहने का जो अरेंजमेंट्स, वो बोलते हैं रिहैबिलिटेशन. रिहैबिट मीन्स उनके एक हैबिटेट से अगर उनको निकाले हैं तो वी हैव टू मेक श्योर कि दे आर रिहैबिटेड इन अ डिफरेंट रीजन. सो समटाइम दे आर नॉट बीइंग, दे आर नॉट गेटिंग अटेंशन. सो that is how they felt the problem of lack of rehabilitation. Next we have exploitation of non-tribals. So that is very self-explanatory. Next is assimilation. We are trying to impose our culture on them. We want to make them like us, but we are forgetting that they are still following that contemporary, their older traditions. We don't want to exclude them in our mainstream, but not by changing them. We have to understand them, we have to respect them, we have to follow their culture, then let them follow their culture. So this assimilation also is a big problem for them. Okay, next we have indebtedness, poverty, health issues, lack of education, unemployment. So this all goes in cycle. In your economy also you might have studied that अगर उनके पास पैसा नहीं है, ऑटोमेटिकली पॉवर्टी है, तो वो एजुकेशन अफोर्ड नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. उनके कोई भी अगर हेल्थ इश्यूज आते हैं, कोई भी डिजीज आउटब्रेक होता है, एकदम से पूरा ट्राइब खत्म हो जाता है, सब लोगों का डेथ हो जाता है, बिकॉज वी आर नॉट इंक्लूडिंग देम इन द मेन स्ट्रीम or we are not giving them proper health facilities also. So they are facing all those problems. Okay, so these are the tribal problems. but we are not leaving them behind. In our country, at least in India, we include everyone. So here there are different things, how to improvise their livelihood, how to improve them, how to bring them to the mainstream. So we have different government schemes giving them reservation, concessions, scholarships that will help them to get into the mainstream. So they will be interested in getting education, getting healthcares, all those. And few say constitutional safeguards are there, article 14, 15, 16, which gives you fundamental rights. So they also have the fundamental rights, they also enjoy those fundamental rights. Next we have tribal movements. So what is tribal movement? So tribal revolt, they will revolt, they will fight. So for what? And they will demand for rehabilitation, they will demand for sometimes they will be demanding for different separate state. Okay, so one such example is there in tribes of southern Bihar region. They have revolted and they wanted a separate state, a separate tribal state, and actually from there only Jharkhand has originated. So if अगर देखा जाए तो झारखंड basically tribal based state ही है, tribal origin state है. So that is a great example of demand for separation of state. Okay. And then recognition as scheduled tribe, because for scheduled tribe there are different incentives or benefits which government has given, even for competitive exams or other aspects. They have given some sort of benefits, so they can avail, they can get to the mainstream. So those come under recognition and as STs, all those. Okay. Next we have impact of religion on tribes. So the basic religion like Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, all those having its own impact on those tribes. Because अगर आप देखो हमारे modern day पे भी tribes है, STs we know. So does they look like those हमारे दिमाग में जो concept रहता है tribes मतलब कपड़े नहीं पहनेंगे या फिर पत्ते पेड़ पौधों ऐसे ही खाते हैं. No, they are just like normal. They are living the normal life, they are just like us. Okay, so they are also following Hinduism, Christianity. तो इसमें कैसे हुआ, कैसे evolve हुआ, वो हम यहाँ पे पढ़ेंगे. One such example I'll give. In Northeast India, so there they accepted the westernization, Western culture, which is having, for example, the Christian missionaries. So when they came here, they give them benefit. They shows that how Christianity gives them liberty, gives them growth and exposure. So most of the people, they learned the Western culture. They accepted those. They accepted Christianity, and they are actually well advanced. They are so good in English. They are well educated also. Okay, so don't think that tribes means in our head those images are there. It's not like that. Next we have regionalism, communalism. As I now only I also say that we might have in our head that this is a region, in this region that kind of people they are there like this. So we'll see. Regionalism means what? Based on a region of people, they divide themselves. Southern region, northern region, central region. So they divide themselves. Like हम southern ट्राइब्स है, हम उनसे अलग है, हमें हमारा डिमांड अलग है. कैसा है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर सदर्न इंडिया में देखें तो सदर्न इंडिया में आज भी अगर दे डोंट वांट टू एक्सेप्ट हिंदी लैंग्वेज एज ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज, दे लाइक व्हाई नॉट वन ऑफ आवर लैंग्वेज कैन बी एज अ ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज. हम क्यों हिंदी में बात करें, हम क्यों हिंदी सीखें? सो दे हैव देयर ओन आइडियाज, देयर ओन आइडियोलॉजीज बेस्ड ऑन देयर रीजन, एंड दैट इज हाउ दे गेट इन्वॉल्व इनटू वायलेंस, एंड दैट इज हाउ रीजनलिज्म concept has emerged. Again we have communalism. So what is communalism? Communalism is conflict between two ethnic groups or communities that may lead to violence. Okay, different community or ethnic groups. Example एक देके बताती हूँ. नागाज कहाँ के होते हैं? नागालैंड के. सो नागाज फ्रॉम नागालैंड they are demanding for a separate country, greater Nagaland. So that community, they are creating violence, they are always having conflict and violence. That is a part of communalism. Okay, so till now it's clear, right? Okay, So unit 2, what and all we have covered. Let's see again. We'll go back. We'll just have a brief. It may seem that it's very big, very lengthy, but I have taken the syllabus and explained in a very detail. That is why it seemed to be lengthy, but it's very easy and very short. So we'll read here again. Unit 1, we saw human evolution, marriage, family, kinship, society, culture, economic anthropology, political anthropology, religion, anthropological theories, culture and language, research methods, genetics, human growth and development, fertility and demography, and applied anthropology. Unit 2, we have Indian archaeology, demographic profile of India, Indian society, Indian anthropologists, because unit 2 is completely Indian anthropology, okay. And then unit 6 to 9, we have tribal India. So none of the portion from your syllabus will be like untouched. Everything will be covered in this class. So you can already understand that everything can be covered in this class. Next, here I have prepared a small presentation in which you can see that physical anthropology means those parts like body, cell, all those genetics, that is 24%, having 24% of weightage. Tribal India, because the paper 2 is mostly based on unit 6 to unit 9 is based on tribal India, so that is having 19%. Socio-cultural anthropology, which is having a major chunk, which is 33%, and archaeology is 5%, and Indian anthropology is 19%. So all of these, only this much you have to cover during the syllabus, nothing outside from this. And as I also told in my previous videos that anthropology is more of static. So say for 2 to 3 years, I don't want you to demotivate you, but still some people may take 2 to 3 years to clear the exam. So for 2 to 3 years, your syllabus, your content will be the same. You don't need to have very dynamic changes in your syllabus. That makes it more easy, okay. So here I have given you the book list. If you want, you can take a screenshot of the book list. So I would like to say one thing, that you don't need to read any of these. Okay, my notes or the class will be more than enough for you, because I have already taken the reference for all those books and made a compiled version, easier version to offer all of you. Still, if anyone wants to read, you can take a screenshot. So these are the books you can follow. These are the standard books. But I will say again, so your focus should be, first you have to complete the course. You have to go through this note. If your optional is ready, then you have to complete your GS, because time is very less for your exam, for your preparation. After your GS, you are done with magazines and all those things. Now you have spare time, then you can go for reading books, these books that will clear your concepts or that may help you creating interest, okay. I hope you have taken the screenshot. So I'm moving to the next. About the course, I'll say in very small. It is a course for 4 to 5 months overall. So 1 or 2 classes or 1 or 2 week, it may stretch here and there. And then the medium is Hindi and English. Based on your response, if you are okay with the English, I'll go for English, or if you want me explain again and again in Hindi, I'll be explaining in Hindi also. And I have written as Marathi question mark. So I would like to say one thing here. Even someone, so do you know this, that even if you're writing your GS paper in Marathi, you can write separately the anthropology paper or your optional paper in English. So I am saying that writing in English will be more better for you, because the terminologies, the way of expression, the flow chart diagram, everything is much more easier in English. I have compared. I am not from Marathi medium, so I am not so fluent with Marathi, but I can understand Marathi. I can speak a bit Marathi. So in your class, if you are having interaction in Marathi, that is totally okay for me. Even I will talk to the academy if I don't know how they are providing the note in. Basically, it will be provided in English, but if possible to translate and all, so that also can be done. That also can be seen in the later terms. But I will suggest you, that even if you are writing the GS paper in Marathi, your own language, it's better to write the optional in this English, because in English, see, in anthropology, one question is there. You write the introduction, you write 2-3 lines in the body, and you give a diagram, you give a flow chart, and then write the conclusion. That's all. Out of 10, at least you will get 5 to 6 marks, and that is more than enough if you don't have much idea about it. So in this case, if you are writing those diagram, flow chart, and converting those words in Marathi is bit more difficult than English. So that's what the mode of language here, and will provide complete notes. There will be daily answer writing. I have written WO, means without evaluation, because with evaluation there is separate admission for this. For this you can join the inquiry with the academy how they are proceeding with the course. But in daily basis, along with my lecture, I'll give you 1 or 2 questions. So you can write on those questions. I will give you format. You can self-evaluate. You can make friends group and evaluate with each other. And also I'll give personal guidance also, in case if it's possible after my schedule. You can approach me anytime. Then we will go through the 500, almost 500 PYQs. So here you may think, where are the PYQs? This is the first year we are going to write. So as this MPSC exam also following UPSC pattern, and this batch is for MPSC, UPSC both. For MPSC aspirants, I would like to say that as the entire syllabus is as same as UPSC pattern, so here also we'll follow the previous year question. Okay, for UPSC, and I'll complete 100% syllabus. I can guarantee you can rely on that, because you can take literally the book or the printout of the syllabus and tick one by one right after the every class, because I have explained you the syllabus also. So that's all about today's lecture. I hope you found it, you will find it interesting, helpful, and I hope if you like it, you can join our anthropology optional course in Nandip Academy. Thank you.